All set out? Good evening. I'd like to call the June 28th regular meeting of the Cumberland Fire District Fire Committee to order at 7:15. If we can rise for a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance. General announcements? Any general announcements? Consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Cucciani.
I know we all received a letter from Maria Lopes. It was sent out to all the members, and she asked that the letter be read at this particular meeting.
Right, and I got it after, it was sent to my old address, and I got it after the filing of the agenda. We'll get it on next month, and I will let her know that. It'll be part of the minutes.
It will be part of the next month's minutes?
Mm-hmm.
It will be read. Per.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Consent agenda. Approval of the minutes from May 19th, 24th, 26th, and June 8th. We can do it individually, or we can do it as one motion. Pleasure of the board.
I'll make a motion to approve all.
Commissioner Champagne moves to approve the 4 sets of minutes.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Roulette. Comments?
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Sure.
I'm going to vote nay to each one of those minutes. Time and again, what has happened is when the minutes are prepared and sent to us, I assume they're sent to you first, am I correct?
What's your point, Mr. Cucciani?
Okay, well, they're sent to you first. They are not accurately reflecting of what has been said or done during the minutes. I've been quoted incorrectly on a number of occasions. Some of the important points that we've tried to bring to the board's attention are not stated. They're inaccurate. They've been modified. You review them. Whatever is salient in support, you, I assume, agree to. But if there's any constructive matters in there, I guess they just don't appear. So I'm going to voice my objection to each one of those minutes as not accurate for those reasons.
Thank you, Mr. Cucciani. Is that a motion, or do you have a motion to change? We have a policy at the committee level that you just present what you need changed, and we'll get it put in the minutes. That's a standing policy, and you're more than welcome to present that. And if you want to present it next month, you can do that too. I'll be more than willing to
table these, and I'll present it.
No, I'd like to approve them. Then, in case you don't bring it in next month, we can, because you should have brought them in tonight, but for whatever reason you didn't. And by the way, I wrote 3 of those minutes, so yes, I did see them first. So if you have additions or deletions, Mr. Cucciani, you are more than willing to present them. Do you have additions or deletions?
I've presented them in the past, and they have not been accepted.
They every time they have been, Mr. Cucciani.
No, they have not.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Cucciani, can you show me where they have not been added? Can you specifically show me where you presented something in writing and they were not added to the minutes?
Yes. Do I have it right here? Do I have it right here in front of me? No, I do not, but I've done that before.
Would you like to put on the agenda of next month for the lack of management of your comments to the minutes?
Not for lack of management of my comments, but the fact that I've done that in the past.
Okay, so you want that on the agenda next month?
You can put that on the agenda.
Sure, we'll do that, Mr. Cucciani. Any other comments for the minutes?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Champagne.
it seems like every month or every meeting, the minutes issue, it comes an issue with Mr. Cucciani. Madam Solicitor made it clear that minutes are notes and they're not to be explicit in its entirety. With that being said, I think we need to investigate hiring a court stenographer to put this to bed once and for all. That comes in every month, takes the minutes as a court stenographer. This way here, this will put the stop of Mr. Cucciani and others every month not being satisfied with the minutes of the... It's going to be a cost. What I'm being told, all the fire districts are using it, and it's about $300 a meeting. But to stop this going back and forth and to finally put it to rest, once the court stenographer takes the minutes, it's going to be a little hard to say my comments or Mr. Cucciani always thinking that it's never the way that he presented it. it's got to come to a stop. Every month, month after month after month, we've been sitting here now for how many months? 20 months? And probably 30 meetings, if not more. And every set of minutes is never right in Mr. Cucciani's mind. I think that we need to consider at next month's meeting to about hiring a court stenographer so we can put this to bed once and for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Commissioner. I will investigate that. I'll bring it to the board on a full level, and then we'll also weigh out the fact that we have a videographer for every meeting now, and we're online to have every meeting so far posted that he's done. So the process is much simpler with his work that he produces than what we had with that camera. So I will present both at the next meeting, and we can make that decision at that time.
May I respond,
Thank you,
Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
Thank you. Listen, we have a videotape here. I think it's a simple process for the clerk, when she prepares the minutes, to go to the videotape and make sure that what I'm objecting to is the elimination of important comments that are being made that don't appear in the minutes. Yes, there's a discussion of me saying something, but it doesn't say what I say or bring up the important points that I'm trying to bring up. They're just glossed over. If the videotape is there, I'm sure that the clerk can make sure that those comments appear concisely. Thank you.
Mr. Cucciani, I'm just going to reiterate what Commissioner Champagne just said, because exactly what he just said is happening. You just restated it. What you feel is important. The minutes are supposed to reflect basic information, which if you look at May 24th and June 8th, I'm sorry, 19th, 26th, and 8th, they do just that. The clerk will put down information she feels is valuable, maybe by the tone or by the intensity or whatever she decides to do. Again, we have a standing policy, and you are more than welcomed to present something that you feel is important, that you want in the minutes, and we have in the past, and we will continue going forward to add those to the minutes. But I'm going to take Mr. Champagne's recommendation, and I'll present it next month. Commissioner Ouellette.
I have a suggestion. Mr. Cucciani, this might be helpful to you because you have a copy of the written minutes. Perhaps if you went to the website and went to the meeting and listened to the conversation of the meeting as you're reading the minutes, you can identify, and if you look at the bottom of the video, it will point out the time. So, for example, 4 minutes, 13 seconds into the meeting, you stated this, but it's not on those minutes. So that way we can truly be accurate and address your concerns. Would that make sense?
Commissioner Ouellette, I appreciate that comment. That's exactly what I have done in the past, and as a continued comment, I have sent in the past requests for changes, and it was after not only my own notes, but looking at the video, and they still don't appear in the minutes.
So you know what would be helpful for me, so that I could, because, you know, occasionally I'm sure we all get misquoted in minutes. What would be helpful for me would be if you made a copy of the minutes and then identified on that copy where certain pieces of information were missing and handed them out to us. That would be really helpful to me if I could have those, if I could have those written. I'm a visual learner. I respond more visually than I do auditorily anyways. So it's important to having those minutes. So if you could do that, certainly it really would help me.
And I appreciate that comment, and I just think the job could be done better the first time around, and rather than doing all that additional work, because the minutes are there, they're being videotaped, and to create this extra work, which I will do, but I think should be unnecessary. But I appreciate the comments.
Okay.
I've looked at the videotapes.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner,
it just boils down to, do we want minutes or do we want a transcript of the meeting? End of story. It's
you.
either one or the other. If we want the transcripts, then we get hire a court stenographer, we pay the price, and it should make Mr. Cucciani very happy. Because it's not going to end till we do that. Nothing's going to satisfy him because the minutes are always going to be not correct or not exactly what he thinks he said or may have said. That's all I need to say.
thank you. I just want to point out that on the 24th, the clerk did those minutes. They're very detailed. I believe they're about 5 or 6 pages. And I want to stress my appreciation and my acknowledgement of the work that she does. And the only thing I do to the minutes is add line numbers and add the footer at the bottom with the page numbers. So, and it's only because I put it in the packet, which, by the way, will be next month. Will be done by a person in the business office. So, I'll be out of that job. Next order, yes?
1 second.
Well, we got to vote on the minutes anyway. Go ahead.
No, 1 second. I'm at the Cumberland Fire website, and in terms of the meeting videos, we've got the 26th, 5/19, 5/24, and 5/26. So they're all there. So it's just a matter of cross-referencing. That shouldn't be too hard.
And June 8th is not there.
June 8th, because we didn't have a video, and June 8th, the minutes are complete to open meetings law. Everybody that motioned is motioned, everybody that seconded, and the votes are recorded.
Yes,
Time to start, time to
it
finish.
was,
And
if
that's,
I may.
Mr. Cucciani,
If I
you keep
may.
repeating yourself.
I'm not
We-
repeating myself.
Mr.
That's
Cucciani,
drawing
I'm
your
not done
attention
talking.
specifically
I didn't
to
give you the
June 8th.
floor, Mr. Cucciani. I didn't give you the floor. I know this is what you want to do. You want to debate with me and you want to get me riled up, and that's fine. But this is done. We beat this thing. We're going to present next month the cost of about $5,000 a year to bring a stenographer in here, and we can vote on it, and whatever the board decides to do, we will do. So, may I have any other comments on the questions other than what we've been talking about?
May I make a comment
No,
on
Mr.
June 8th?
Cucciani, we're done. You keep repeating yourself. Any other comments?
Didn't want them videotaped, they could have been.
Mr. Cucciani, any other comments? Hearing none. All those in favor of the 4 minutes, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-2. Next item, Finance Report. Finance Director Carlson, did you get any questions?
I did not receive any.
Thank you. Pleasure of the board. Motion by Commissioner Champagne, second by Commissioner Parent. Any questions other than that? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Passes 6-1. Resolutions. If we can have the tax clerk to come forward. First resolution is an abatement of taxes. And I'm getting to that right now. This is pretty routine, but it's the first time Madam Tax Collector has come before us for this, so I just wanted to ask her to come up. It really isn't any need. The report specifies everything that specifies all the information we need, including the reasons, out of business, payments not being recorded by one of the past fire districts. Most of them are out of business. The resolution is to support her decision and just put on the record that we've been told of this abatement and we've seen the details and it's memorialized. So, pleasure of the board. Motion by Commissioner Champagne to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Roulette. Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Thank you. Next,
And you came so prepared.
she was ready. Since we're on tax collector issues, just a quick update. She'll give us a report next month on tax collection process and how it's going. But the bills did get sent out by the post office a week late, but they are coming in now. And the last I was told, about 99% are coming in full payment, and they're coming in fast and furious. So I think we're going to end up with the same process that we've seen in the past, with a very small amount going to quarterly payments. So she'll give us an in-depth report next month with percentages and everything. Next item is for the payment of the project. These next three items, we've approved these projects, but the payments are starting to come in now, and I just want to get the exact amounts on the record. So the next resolution is 29, authorized payment of $7,215 to New England Flooring for repairs to floor in Station 4, whereas we've already approved this not to exceed $7,700, and New England Floor has completed the project with Chief Finley's approval. This authorizes the payment of that invoice. Pleasure of the board. Motion by Commissioner Champagne, seconded by Commissioner Mata. Any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next item, same issue. This is a project that we are redoing the department, Station 1's kitchen. Authorized payment of $2,619.85 to J&A Appliances. That's part one of their bill, and all the work has been completed to Chief Finley's approval. Pleasure of the board. Motion by Commissioner Champagne, seconded by Commissioner Roulette. Any comments or questions? Hearing
Chairman.
Commissioner Scullin.
Just a question, now, just jump ahead for 1 second. These two items are going to complete that project?
Yes, yeah, it's all done.
Okay.
They saved the stove, and did a really good job. It was pretty expensive.
Actually, I was in there a couple weeks ago.
Oh, good,
It
good.
was very good.
Yeah.
I see the stove was saved.
Yeah,
It was
that's
always an issue before. Whether they wanted it, they
That's a
didn't.
heck of a stove. Did you see the stove?
Yeah.
It was given to him for free. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Resolution 31, authorize a payment of $7,979 to J&A Appliance for labor and materials. This is other than the appliances. Again, completed to Chief Finley's approval. Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Roulette, seconded by Commissioner Parent. Any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Lastly, this is a pretty interesting resolution, and I'm going to read it. Then I'm going to ask the deputy to come up and just kind of briefly go over it and explain it. So this is a resolution to authorize payment of $3,552 to the Smithfield Fire Department for 1/7 of a grant match for the training trailer, whereas Smithfield Fire Department is acting as a host community for an AFG regional grant. This host committee, along with Cumberland, North Smithfield, Blackstone, Woonsocket, Lincoln, and Bellingham, are co-sharing of a grant match total of $24,863. This grant is being used to purchase a safety and survival training simulator trailer. Cumberland's share of the total cost is $3,552, whereas the chief of the department is responsible for adequate availability for training of the members of the CFD. So resolved that this authorizes the payment as laid out. Deputy, if you can come up and just kind of go over this briefly. We have a pretty good letter from the chief and some pictures and stuff, but why don't you just let us know what the plans are? Thank you.
Okay. Good evening. The Guardian training trailer is available through the Greater Woonsocket Chiefs Association, which we're a part of, and as you see in your packet. The chief is very active, so the training trailer will be available with a simple request of an email. The training trailer is 30 feet long. It's capable of total darkness training. It has various props, unstable floors. We have 2 floors inside the trailer, the third being the rooftop. It has a set of stairs, breaching walls, rope entanglement, 2 smoke machines available, gas leak simulators, floor collapse obstacles, entanglement debris issues, repelling walls, and this will satisfy the self-contained breathing apparatus requirements that we're required to train on every year, along with the other various obstacles that we can set up. We have fire instructors on our department that are capable of giving us excellent training. The training will prove very useful for firefighter safety and survival that otherwise wouldn't be would be extremely difficult to reproduce in a safe and effective manner. We would need to get an acquired building, which is not typically a safe thing to do, along with the availability of vacant buildings. This training simulator will be used readily.
Very good, Deputy. Any comments or questions for the Deputy? Commissioner?
Thank you. Being at DFS, this is what we have. We have a number of simulators and training, so I'm very well aware of what these things can do, and it's pretty impressive. So I just have a couple of questions regarding the whole process. Who will be in charge of the trailer? Is it Smithfield?
The Smithfield Fire Department.
Smithfield.
Yes.
Now, when we use it, will we bring it to Cumberland?
Yes, we will. We would bring it to the center of town so we can have all the companies in Cumberland train from the center
through the training.
and handle additional responses.
Do we have a truck that can tow it?
Yes, we have 3, yes.
We have one that's big enough that can
Yes.
tow it. Okay. And are we contributing, will we be contributing to any insurance or anything like that for the trailer?
The insurance will be assumed as the Cumberland Fire District's liability. It would be on
okay.
our facility, our site.
And will Smithfield charge a fee for us to use it?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
Great. Commissioner Champagne?
Just to clarify insurance, the way our insurance policy works, any towable vehicle becomes insured under the vehicle that's towing it. So if we should get in an accident towing it from Smithfield to Cumberland, then it's the insurance that covers the vehicle, because it's a vehicle that's under tow.
I was more concerned with the props that were inside in terms of breakage. That's all.
Any other comments or questions for the
Mr. Chairman.
Deputy? Commissioner Cucciani?
And talking about that insurance coverage, Mr. Champagne, Commissioner Champagne, this apparatus is being co-owned by the, 6 or 7 towns?
7 communities.
7?
Yes.
But it's being co-owned by all of them.
Yes.
And when the vehicle or the apparatus is in a stationary position and not being towed, will it have insurance coverage? If you know?
It would be in Smithfield. Oh, here?
Well, the way
When it's here, Phil, and it's parked and this taken off the attachment of the truck, it's no longer attached to that truck, it becomes a piece of property and it would be covered under our boiler insurance, equipment insurance. Because we're co-owners of it.
That's the reason why it's considered part of the structure or the land in buildings as
Right.
an apparatus, even though it's not attached to the truck at that particular point in time.
Right.
That's the only clarification. I'm not, I just wanted to see what the situation is.
Very good. Good question. What's that?
Where's the money coming from?
Training grants, I guess.
Mr. Chairman, one quick question.
Sure.
What is the life expectancy of a trailer like this?
It's all
Because
dependent
it's
on
being used by
usage.
multiple departments and
Yeah, there will be upkeep issues long-term.
Along the way.
As you're training, things do break, especially the type of trailer. It's meant to kind of bang up the firefighters, disorient them, teach them how to get out of entanglement issues. So there is a long-term you'll have
maintenance
to
schedule.
maintenance.
And just to clarify, when a department uses this in its return to Smithfield, they're the host community, so are they responsible to check the trailer, make sure everything's still functioning the way it's supposed to function, and so it doesn't go out on the road if it's unsafe for any reason?
So yes, there will be a checklist as we were going to, take an apparatus into service in the morning at the start of our shift. We go through a checklist. There'll be this similar checklist.
Smithfield will do that as the host community, make sure the thing is returned in proper order. If not,
And we'll have to check off, before we start our training also. Yes. This is not a new concept. The Rhode Island Fire Academy has one, and the U.S. Navy used to allow us to use their trailer. We've been doing this for many years. It's nice to have a trailer so close and being shared with 7 communities makes the availability that much more accessible.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy.
Good questions. I just want to point out that mutual use of equipment, the different departments work together very, very well. I remember we first merged, we had an engine from North Cumberland go out, and there was issues with it like a week after the borrowing department received it, but yet they still went 50-50 on the cost of the repairs, though it was very clear that the repairs had been needed for some time, and a strap on a fuel tank and a couple other issues. So I was very impressed that, I forget the community that borrowed it, maybe it had been Lincoln, but they still went 50-50 on it, which was, very, very good on their part. So I feel very confident that those checks and balances, Jim, would be in place, and it's a good question. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. And I made my goal of half an hour. Next item is adjournment. Pleasure of the board. Motion by Commissioner Parent, seconded by the full board. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Passes 7-0. Thank you.